A new contender for #1 TUR is on his way, but should you summon? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we have the next Dokkan Festival exclusive, the Teq Majin Buu Ultimate Gohan Absorb. And as always, we are answering that age-old question: should you summon when this guy drops in just under 24 hours from the release of this video? As always, in order to answer that question, we're going to take a look at three major factors. Number one, the unit itself. Is the unit good enough to justify summoning on the banner? Is he good enough to gain value from spending on said banner? And then, of course, we will look at what is on said banner, right? What are the possibilities, and what do we know for sure is going to be on that banner? And should you dip in, are they worth your stones? And then finally, we'll take a look at what lies ahead. This is the final stretch into the 10th anniversary, but there are still a few other things you may want to consider before spending stones here if you're deciding to spend any of your anniversary savings. So let's go ahead, let's hop on in and take a look at the unit itself. So this guy is a power absorption transformation boost, category key 3, HP attack and defense 170% with an additional 30% for artificial life forms and uncontrollable power. His super attack effect greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage. His passive skill gives him key 2, attack and defense 200% and guards all attacks, plus an additional attack and defense 58% when attacking. He has an additional attack and defense 100% and high chance of performing a critical hit for 6 turns from the start of battle. He has a high chance of evading an enemy's attack, including super attack, and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack, starting from the 7th turn from the start of battle. He also has an additional chance of performing a critical hit 50%, and extreme class allies key 2 and attack defense 50% when there's another power absorption or transformation boost ally attacking in the same turn. The more HP remaining when the character receives an attack for the first time in a turn, the greater his additional defense boost is, up to 150%. While all of that is going on, if that wasn't enough, he does have the ability to start a domain. His domain creates the Majin Buu inside the Majin Buu and transfers his consciousness, so transforms him. It can be activated when all allies attacking the same turn are power absorption, or from the 6th turn. So basically, you can activate it turn 1, like Broly, if you have all allies, or starting from turn 6. Once you do transform and activate that domain, not only is that domain providing 30% to, I think it's here, right? Let's see, does it show? No, it doesn't show the full effect of the domain. Oh, here it is. All right, so the power absorption and transformation boost are getting 15% and an additional 15% for any of those who are also on Majin Buu Saga, so up to 30% depending on the character. So basically, like on a full Buu team, you're getting 30% essentially. Now, once transformed, his super attack effect is now greatly raising attack permanently, causing immense damage and a high chance of stunning the enemy. While his passive is giving him key 6, attack and defense 300%, plus an additional attack 100% when attacking. He reduces damage received by 70%, changes AGL key spheres to tech key spheres, and an additional defense 40% when receiving an attack, and chance of performing a critical hit 5% per key sphere obtained. He also has an additional super attack with 3 or more key spheres obtained, and launches an additional super attack with 6 or more key spheres obtained. He launches an additional super attack when there's a fused fighter enemy, and recovers 30% at the end of the turn. And then he will be in this for 3 turns, I believe, for how long the domain lasts. So basically, while in his base form, he is rather defensive, as well as providing a bit of support. And then when you activate his domain, he goes all out offense, stacking his attack, preparing for his transformation back. It's actually pretty neat. I like the design of this character. So if you were to summon for this character, I would say that this is a definite plus in the category of summon. This is a probably next to Lord Slug, I would say this is the best extreme unit we've gotten this year in terms of TURs. I can't fully say which one is better yet, as we haven't been able to do full testing yet, but he is definitely good. And if you summon on his banner and pull him, you are gaining a ton of value for your stone. So that is a definite one for summoning for the unit. But of course, these units don't work alone, right? They do not exist in a vacuum. They are on banners, and those banners contain other units. So now we can't fully predict out the full banner, but we can take some pretty good estimations on who is to be on the banner. So first and foremost, we will have his banner units, the Grand Supreme Kai. Now this is an interesting card because he is not on Boo's lead, right? Boo, his main categories are Boo Saga, Realm of God, Story Figure, and Protara, none of which Boo's lead. So maybe he'll be on the lead of the part 2, but definitely not on Boo's lead. Other than him, we should also be gaining the first return of the Roshi. It should be Topo or First Form Frieza, which would be the natural return, but due to the way the schedule has sort of fallen, we've already returned those characters some in other banners. For example, Topo here has returned on the Black Friday Dokkan Festival, so that only leaves the next possibility to be either Goku Black, who is not currently on the any available banner, or it leaves STR Roshi, and I do believe STR Roshi is probably the most likely candidate here for his return. Other than that, right, if we take a look at the previous December Dokkan Fest, we can see that, right, they brought the returns of the August Dokkan Fest. So again, Roshi or Topo would fit this here, and then the return of a bunch of units that would fit their natural category. So for 21 last year, this was for 20. This was actually the first return, I think, of the ST. Oh, no. Super Trunks' banner was on JP. On Global, it was, so on JP, this was Super Trunks' first return. Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. The August Dokkan Fest, and then a bunch of banner units that also fit the category. So Android, so we can safely assume that, plus a few more units, because this is going to be a 10 featured unit banner, we can assume units from Majin Buu Saga, Transformation Boost, or Power Absorption are going to be on the banner. I could see very likely units like, if we can find them here, alright, I could see the STR Super Buu making a return on this banner, not that he's doing much. The Int Buuhan will likely be on the banner, very well. Not to say that he is going to Super Easy A. In fact, we know that the Super Easy A already, because his details were already posted to JP, is the Int. Let's find him here. The way down here, because he is super old, the Int Ultimate Gohan. So we know he's getting a Super Easy A. If he doesn't get a category banner, he's probably going to be on the banner itself. They have been doing that for these Super Easy A's lately. They've been on the actual banner, like Beerus and whatnot. Otherwise, we could see other TUR Dokkan Fests. Majin Vegeta is likely to be on the banner. I could see Kid Buu and Fizz Super Saiyan 3 Goku on the banner. These two are far. I don't think AGL Goku and Int Buu are likely to be on the banner. It would be nice. It would definitely increase the value of the banner, but I don't think it's likely. The very, very likely candidates are going to be Majin Vegeta, I would say Kid Buu and Fizz Super Saiyan 3 Goku, maybe STR Boo and Int Buuhan, and a few others that would fit under that lead. As well as, of course, the return of STR Roshi. So, looking at the banner, right, of the possibilities of its return, even when we consider the fact that Int Gohan is getting an easy A, and the possibility of a Int Buuhan easy A, super easy A rather, still on the fence on that one. Even if that were confirmed, I don't think it would really increase the value of the banner itself. This is not going to be a great banner, unless they do something wild, which they very well could. But I don't think this is going to be that great of a banner, right? The only value to the banner is returning Roshi, so possibly picking up with coins if you decide if Roshi was one you wanted to pick up. So unfortunately, that is 0 in the category for the banner. Doesn't seem that this banner is going to be all that great. So we've got 1 for the unit, none for the banner. So let's look at what lies ahead. If you summon on this banner, what are you giving up in the near future? Well, first and foremost, we already know 1 confirmed banner, and it's pretty much the only confirmed banner we have left, and that is the AGL Jiren's banner. We don't know when this is going to happen, but either before the end of December, right? Likely Christmas time is my best guess, or in January, right before the anniversary. This banner is coming, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for Jiren. This is probably going to be a different LR here instead of the trio, but either way, right, if you summon on Buuhan, you are giving up the possibility of a double rates Jiren summon, which I do know a lot of people are waiting on. Speaking of double rates, last year during December, we did in fact get a double rates banner for the Int Super Saiyan Trio. This is usually the part 2, and it's somehow tangentially connected to the current LR. Hard to say what it's going to be this year. I mean, there's a number of leading theories, but it can be said for certain that it will be double rates. It will be a carnival, and it'll be the last, on JP at least, it'll be the last carnival before anniversary. So depending on what it is, right, possibility of Kefla, Vegito, Kid Buu, right, you may be possibly giving up a summon for that double raids banner should you summon on Buuhan's banner. So just be aware of that. Next, of course, we have the surprising omission of Teq UI Goku from what should have been his return alongside the AGL Broly and Beast Gohan. So this banner was dropped during the Black Friday celebration and it's still running right now, and Teq UI is not there. There's a chance Teq UI could show up at Christmas time like he usually does on the Tanabata banner, right? JP did get that Tanabata banner, but Global did not get this banner. So there is a chance that we may not be fully done with Teq UI, and he could return. So if you're somebody who missed out on Teq UI, know that you could be giving up a summon on that banner. Not that I really think you should, right? If it ends up being the same banner as expected, there's going to be a lot of featured units. May not necessarily be worth it, but it's worth noting that that is what you are giving up. Now, the big things players would be giving up if they summon is, of course, the New Year's Super and Extreme step-ups, right? These are probably some of the biggest value for new players in that they guarantee TURs and LRs at every step, right? All the way up to, like last year was up to the August Dokkan Fest, which was Kale on Global, and on JP, it was up to Super Trunks, right? So, and it also included the WWC LRs up to the AGL Saiyans and Metal Cooler, not Metal Cooler, LR Cooler, because Metal Cooler is a carnival. So that means this will likely contain AGL Vegito and Tech Zamasu. And at each step, you're going to have some pretty good options, right? For 200 stones for a full round, you can get an Easy A Dokkan Fest exclusive, where this step may also include Super Easy A's this year. The second step is an Easy A LR, Yellow Coin LR. This batch will pretty much be, looking at the list here, it's probably going to be all the way up to, who's the most recent yellow coin LR? I would say probably all the way up to Frieza 17, the 6th year LR EZAs, since those would be the most recent yellow coin LR EZAs. Actually, it could even include the WWDC 2021 EZAs, the Krillin and Gohan and the Int Vegeta. Following that, you'll have some recent Dokkan Fest exclusives from the prior year, along with their banner units, and likely the AGL Saiyans as a possible guaranteed LR. And I believe this step guarantees you one banner unit and then one of these. And then you have a recent yellow coin LR, all the way up to, last year it was up to Triku, which means that this year it is likely going, it should be up to, who was the last yellow coin LR? Ultimate Gohan, I think, is the likely candidate here, although they could include the Teq Krillin and Gohan. In fact, let's take a look here. This is, yeah, JP. Up to, this is tough. Was Triku on? I think he was. Oh no, Triku wasn't on Global, so maybe not Krillin and Piccolo, more than likely up to AGL Ultimate Gohan on the banner here. And then finally, the last one, the Dokkan Fest exclusive. So this is the Super Banner. The Super Banner is likely going to contain all the way up to the August Dokkan Fest, which is Oppo or Roshi, depending on which one they decide to go with, JPs or Globals. And then, of course, oh, not that one. And then, of course, the extreme side not only will include all up to Tex and Moss, it will also include units up to, so Turles was the most recent one on here on Global, so likely up to, so this was October, so AGL Vegeta is going to be on here. So this would honestly actually be pretty good for a lot of players who skipped out on a lot of these units, especially if you're a newer player who are missing a lot of these. Again, 200 stones on either one, super or extreme, is going to get you a ton of value, and it is something that you should probably prioritize over other banners if you're not fully saving for the anniversary. Otherwise, the last Dokkan Fest before we hop into the anniversary is, of course, going to be the New Year's Dokkan Fest. Last year's was Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Anti-Rudigar. No idea what it could be. Could be Daima this year. Could be GT. Could be anything, really. Either way, the point for this one, I mean, proximity to anniversary, this banner is probably a big fat no summon, although it will return the Golden Week the Golden Week units, as well as the previous New Year's units, and that's pretty much it. So honestly, this year, unless they go ham and put like previous anniversary LRs on here, it's probably not going to be that valuable, which means the only thing next is, of course, the 10th anniversary, where the bulk of your stones should be spent. But this is everything you would possibly be giving up should you decide to summon on whatever Buuhan's banner ends up being. So I would definitely say, knowing what lies ahead and that the step up should be top priority outside of the anniversary, I can't give a full recommendation on the banner itself either, right? It is a personal value judgment. If you don't benefit from the step ups and you are willing to dump a couple of stones that you need for anniversary, then for what lies ahead, it is a plus. If not, and the step up is incredibly value for you and it is something you need to summon on, then I don't recommend summoning on Buuhan's banner. So this one is a different, it's a little bit different recommendation because of our proximity to the step ups and the anniversary. So we have one for the unit, we have none for the banner, and we have a mix depending on whether or not you need to summon on the step up. So I'm going to tier my recommendation for this one. If you are 1,000 stones or greater, since this banner has guaranteed featured step ups, as always with these new Dokkan Fest coins, as well as the possibility of reaching pity, and depending on how many units you have, you could possibly pick them up as early as 300 stones, depending on your luck with additional dupes pulled. I would say do no more than a round or two if you have greater than 1,000 stones. And the reason I say that is anything more than that, and then you're eating into your pity for anniversary. So that's the only reason I say that. If you are 800 stones or less, I would say between 500 and 800, do no more than one rotation. That's it. If you are anything below 500 stones, do not touch this banner. Save for at least 200 for the New Year's step-ups, or continue your saving for the 10th anniversary. There's really no need to touch the banner if you are really anything below 500. Your stones are better spent during the anniversary at that point. So the only last consideration I want to leave you with is that there are tickets confirmed in the global data download. So if you are a global player, there are tickets, and if you are pay to play, low to play, definitely recommend picking those up. Try to pull your hand at using tickets before wasting those stones. Always a good deal. It doesn't appear that with the Dokkan Fest, it doesn't appear that they're doing the guaranteed featured packs like they do with the yellow coin LR. So they will be regular Dokkan Fest tickets, which is still, I mean, if you can pull them on the tickets, it's still better for stacking those stones for the anniversary so you can build up your pity. So again, final recommendation, tiered recommendations: 1,000 stones or more, do no more than 2 rotations; 500 to 800, no more than 1; and anything less than 500, do not touch the banner. Guys, if you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know, will you be summoning for Teq Buuhan? I know this was a long video, but of course, we always like to make sure we give you a thorough breakdown of what you are using your stones for. So that's it for the video, guys. If nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.